All right, let's just jump right into this. What if I told you that you could earn a pretty significant income on Facebook? And I'm not talking about creating complex videos or fancy reels. I mean, just by posting simple sentences. It sounds a little too good to be true, right? But believe me, it's a very real opportunity that thousands of creators are tapping into as we speak.
Yeah, just let that sink in for a second. We're not talking about anything complicated. The real opportunity here is in simple text posts, photos, and basic graphics. You know, the kind of content that's actually surprisingly easy to whip up.
And the scale of this is, well, it's staggering. Just in 2024, Facebook quietly paid out over $2 billion to creators to its monetization program. So the money is definitely on the table, and you really don't need a huge following to get a piece of that pie.
So how does this whole thing work? It's actually really straightforward. The more engagement your posts get, and we're talking about likes, comments, and especially shares, the more Facebook is going to push your content out there. And the more you can get paid. The key thing to remember is it all comes down to engagement. But, okay, there's always a catch, isn't there? Winning on Facebook isn't about just posting once a day and crossing your fingers. Nope, it's all about volume. To see any real results, the most successful creators are posting at least 5 to 10 times every single day. Some are even posting way more, like 20 or 30 times. And I know, that sounds absolutely daunting.
And that's the real question, right? I mean, who has the time for that? Manually creating and posting that much good content day in and day out? That would be a full-time job all by itself. It's the biggest hurdle for pretty much everyone.
But that is where this whole AI-powered solution comes in. What if you could solve that volume problem? What if you could create 100 unique posts in just a couple of minutes? This isn't some fantasy. This is where AI completely changes the game. And the solution really comes down to two incredibly powerful and really accessible tools working together. First, we're going to use ChatGPT to generate just an endless stream of content ideas. Then, we'll use Canva to automatically turn all those ideas into a whole batch of great-looking posts. I mean, look at the difference here. The old way, the manual method, it's just so slow. It makes being consistent almost impossible. But the AI method, it allows you to work at a massive scale. It makes it easy to stay consistent, and consistency is absolutely everything for growing on Facebook. Now, this strategy works especially well in certain niches, anything that relies on short, impactful text. So think about things like motivational quotes, career advice, little life tips, or thoughts on relationships. These are topics that have a really broad appeal, and they get a ton of likes and shares.
Okay, so you can see the potential. Now, let's actually build your content factory. I'm going to walk you through the exact 4-step process to generate over 100 posts in just minutes.
Here's the roadmap. It's super simple. First, we find some inspiration. Second, we get ChatGPT to do all the heavy lifting for us. Third, we create a design template in Canva. And finally, the magic step, we use a feature called Bulk Create to put it all together. Let's start with step 1. Just hop onto Facebook and find pages that are already killing it in your niche. Find the posts that are getting thousands of likes and shares, and just take a few screenshots. This is going to be the source material we feed to our AI.
Next up, we head over to ChatGPT. You'll upload those screenshots you just took and use a really specific prompt, just like this one. You're basically telling the AI, hey, analyze what's already popular, and then give me 100 new, unique variations of that.
And what you get back is this perfectly formatted table with 100 unique quotes all ready for the next step. And just like that, you have weeks' worth of content ideas generated in, what, a few seconds? Now for step 3, we're going over to Canva to make our design template. You've probably seen those tweet-style graphics. They're super popular, and they work really well. Just pick one and customize it with your name, your photo, and your colors. Oh, and a quick heads up. This final step does require the pro version of Canva, but honestly, it is so worth it for this feature alone.
Okay, this is where the magic happens. In Canva, you're going to use an app called Bulk Create. You'll copy the list of 100 quotes from ChatGPT and just paste it right into this tool. Then, you simply tell Canva to connect that data to the text box in your design template.
And with one click, boom, just like that, Canva automatically generates over 100 unique, perfectly designed graphics, each one with a different quote. You have literally just created a huge batch of content ready to post in less time than it takes to make a cup of coffee. It's amazing.
So you've just created this massive library of content. Awesome. That's the first half of the battle. But building a successful page that actually makes money, well, that requires a long-term strategy. It's about more than just hitting the post button.
The key here is to work smart, not hard. Take that batch of 100 posts you just made and use the Meta Business Suite, which is Facebook's free scheduling tool, to plan them all out in advance. You can spend maybe an hour setting up your content for the next several weeks. This is how you stay consistent without the daily grind.
So, what are the big takeaways for long-term success? First, consistency it's non-negotiable. You have to post multiple times every day. Second, pick a niche you actually care about, otherwise you will burn out. And finally, never forget that your goal is engagement. Likes, comments, and shares are your currency here.
It's also really important to be realistic. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It is not going to happen overnight. But if you are consistent with this high-volume strategy, you will get views, you will gain followers, and eventually Facebook will send you that invitation to join its monetization program.
You know, this whole thing brings us to a really fascinating final thought. As AI gets better and better at handling the grunt work of creating content, the very definition of a creator is starting to change. So who is the creator? Is it the person with the best prompts, the one with the sharpest eye for curating, or is it the person with the most brilliant strategy? It's definitely something to think about.